Hi guitar friends! I hope you're all doing well. In this video we're going to look at me. Nah, just kidding. We're going to look at a chord that can make a chord progression much more interesting. And we're going to use that chord on the 4th degree in a major key. Now we're talking about the minor major 7 chord. A chord that sounds mysterious and has a very strong character. So let's find out how to use it and see why this works so well. Just follow me in this tutorial and at the end it will be crystal clear. Now really a ton of songs uses one particular chord that is outside the key. And this chord is the minor 4th degree in the major key. So the F minor chord in the key of C major, for instance. But in the C major key we have a major 4th degree, F major. It is a subdominant chord. But now we play a minor 4th degree, F minor, instead of a major chord, like this. Now I guess this sounds pretty familiar and maybe you already know something about this concept. Examples of songs that use this cadence are, for instance, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Now maybe you know that such a progression that leads from the 4 chord to the 1 chord is called a Plagal cadence. Now this is a very common and basic progression. And when we use a minor version of that 4 chord, we call this a minor Plagal cadence. That bears more drama and more character. Also the combination of the major 4th degree followed by the minor 4th degree is often used in songs. Think of songs like Creep by Radiohead, Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish, Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis, and Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day. All these songs use the 4 minor 1 chord progression. And this is nothing new to your ears, but it is the basis for the concept I'm going to tell you. Now before we go into the minor major 7 beauty, let's first determine why the minor 4 in a major key works so well and what the theoretical explanation of this concept looks like. If we look at the chord change from the minor 4 to the 1 chord, we can discover 3 things that makes this progression strong. First of all, the root notes have a 4-1 relationship, F to C. And in our ears, a 5-1 and a 4-1 relation sounds logical and strong. Now also the root F of the F major chord is a leading tone to the note E, the major 3rd of the C major chord. Second, the note C is a common note in both chords. And third, and this is specific for the minor 4 chord, the minor 3rd of the minor 4 chord is a leading tone to the 5th of the 1 chord, or the tonic. So, in C major, the note A flat of the F minor chord descends a semitone to the note G of the C major chord. Often this leading tone is relocated to the bass, like in this super nice elevator song, For in an Elevator. In an harmonic sense, these 3 things makes this chord change from the minor 4 to the major tonic logical and strong. In an emotional sense, the progression creates a moment of sadness and drama within the major idiom. Now the modern theoretical idea that lies behind this minor Plagal cadence is the so-called modal interchange or modal mixture. Different names for the same thing. Anyways, modal interchange or modal mixture means that you borrow a chord from another mode, and in this case from another parallel mode. So instead of using the subdominant 4th degree from the key itself, we now borrow another 4 chord from a parallel mode, maybe from the Phrygian mode, maybe from the Lydian mode, or whatever which mode your dowsing rod tells you. Most of the time though, we borrow from the Aeolian mode, which is a parallel minor key of C major and C minor. Now witchcraft needed here. As you can see, the F minor chord is also a chord that is borrowed from the C minor key, from the C Aeolian mode. And as I said, this is called modal interchange, and I've made a dedicated tutorial about this subject, so check that if you want to dive into that concept. Now to make the minor 4 chord sound less retro and less poppy, we can make an interesting alteration in the chord. We can just add the major 7th to the minor triad of the minor 4 chord. And this results in a minor major 7 chord that has much more color and tension. Now the minor major 7 chord has a distinct sound because it's a minor chord and borrowed from the minor parallel key. But that major 7 degree is a major and comes from the parallel major key. Therefore the chord gets a dual character that results in a mystical sound. The E minor major 7 chord, for instance, consists of the minor triad E, G, B that comes from the E minor scale, plus the major 7th D sharp that comes from the E major scale. Now this type of chord is a typical tonic of the harmonic minor scale and melodic minor scale, where we also find a minor 3rd and a major 7th degree. Now we can also add the 9th or 13th to make it even more colorful, and this is used in film scores to create an undefined dualistic sound.
Bond. James Bond.
So using this chord as a substitution for that minor 4th degree creates a more emotional value. Now let's listen to the minor Plagal cadence in E major with an A minor major 7th chord on the 4th degree. Now we have still the leading tone from the minor 3rd C of the A minor major 7th chord to the 5th B of the E major chord. The added major 7th, the G sharp, is now a common note with the G sharp of the E major chord. Now there is another way to use the minor 4th degree in a major key. And we'll stay in the E major key for now. The minor 4th degree is the A minor chord. Now, normally this chord would lead to the tonic, as we have seen in our previous examples of the Plagal cadence, or even to the dominant chord. But it can also strongly lead to the 6th chord in a major key. Now, when we look at the A minor major 7 chord in the key of E major, we could see this A minor major 7 chord as the dominant for the 6th chord, C sharp minor. If we look at the notes of the A minor major 7 chord, we'll see the root A, the minor 3rd C, the 5th E, and the major 7 G sharp. Apart from the root, all these notes are present in the G dominant 7 sharp 5 chord, which is the dominant altered chord for C sharp minor. Now if we add the major 6th F sharp to the A minor major 7th chord, which is a common thing to do, we have also added the dominant 7th of the G sharp 7 sharp 5 chord. So it's no wonder that the A minor major 7 chord or A minor major 7 13 chord can act as a kind of dominant for the minor 6 chord in a major key. Now here's an example in the key of E major where I use the minor major 7 13 chord on the 4th degree to lead to the 6th chord C sharp minor 7 in the key of E major. Also the chords in bar 5 to 8 are interesting, but I'll leave that for another tutorial. Now here's another example. The A minor major 7 chord leads to the 6th chord, C sharp minor 7, in bar 3 and 4. In bar 6 the 4 chord is also changed to a minor major 7 chord, making the 4-5-1 cadence a little bit more interesting. Now this is how the progression sounds without the arrangement. And this is the same progression molded into a musical example in a 7/8 time signature in the key of E major. Some side information, the A minor major 7 chord is also the tonic of the A melodic minor scale, which can be used over a G sharp altered chord to create a G sharp altered scale. Sometimes the A minor major 7 arpeggio is used over the G sharp altered chord. So There's a link too between the minor major 7 chord and the altered chord. Now the substitution of a minor 4th degree with the minor major 7 chord is colorful and beautiful in its simplicity. And the good thing is that this minor major 7 chord on the 4th degree in a major key is not much used at all. So you'll definitely surprise your listeners and maybe even yourself. Who knows, right? Anyway, I hope I kept my promise so that it's now crystal clear for you. Bye.